not doing these 11 things in Grow Garden right now, then you're definitely going to be falling behind. These tips will definitely change how fast you can progress in Grow Garden, and number 7 is actually going to be super overpowered. Coming in at number 1, we actually have a tip that most people always miss out on, and it's that size/weight of the fruit actually matters here. So you can see right now some of these fruits are bigger than the others, so we can take this dragon fruit for an example and compare it to this one. The small one is definitely going to be worth significantly less compared to this big one. And of course, same thing goes with mutations here. Some plants can grow as a regular, a rainbow, or a golden here. Now if you guys have the dragonfly pet, then you are guaranteed to have golden every single time here. As you can see, we have a couple of moon melons already being transformed into gold, which means we will get a lot more value here. And then for the rainbow, they can grow randomly. I think it was a % chance only. And of course, there is a brand new pet that can also convert it to rainbow, but that is definitely way harder to do. And that is one thing that you need to always remember here. It's that size actually matters. And at number 2 right here, we have get rid of useless plants. Now, especially at a time like this wherein we have the pollination event every hour, maybe the lunar event where we get moonlit, bloodlit plants, these ones are actually going to be much better. This also includes the dragonfly, by the way. It can only turn one fruit golden every 5 minutes here. So if you have a ton of garbage fruits, let's say you have strawberries, blueberries, maybe some random grapes here, these ones I do keep for the event. But let's say anything like the blueberry, strawberry, if you guys have a ton of those, if the dragonfly actually flies to them and turns them gold, it's going to be a massive waste of your resources here. And alongside that, if they get pollinated, they are going to be horrible because they're worth nothing. And they're generally way lighter than normal fruits, so if you go ahead and exchange them there, you are essentially wasting an entire hour's worth of event here, which is why I highly recommend getting rid of all of the trash fruits. The Ember Lily, of course, is really good. We have a couple of them already here. We have a lot of good plants here. As you can see, if you go ahead and check out this entire area, it's only going to be good plants. On this side, we have the sunflowers separated because I'm trying to get them shocked. That's the only mutation they're missing right now, so I have to keep them separate so that it actually has a higher chance of turning shocked. And then over here, we have the mangoes. Now, these mangoes are over here because we actually want them to get pollinated because they are going to be the best fruit for the event here. And as you saw there, the dragonfly actually just applied the gold effect to the moon melons. So if I had something like a random trash pepper there or maybe a trash blueberry, it has a high chance of actually going to them, and that would have wasted the effect of the dragonfly. And dragonfly is the best pet in the game right now, so make sure you guys don't waste this ability for no absolute reason. And coming in at number 3 is going to be the sprinkler effects. So sprinklers in this game is very messy. You can actually stack a lot of them together. By stacking, I don't mean like putting down 2 master sprinklers. I mean putting 1 master sprinkler, 1 godly, 1 advanced, 1 basic. That actually works out and it will stack. So make sure you guys do try and use that method. You can also use the watering can right here, guys. It does also help the growth of your fruits, so that's also a very viable option here. The best thing you need to do, and you can do, is to actually try to get all of your fruits really massive. And the next tip, at tip number 4, is actually doing the sprinkler method. Now, I have a couple of sprinkler methods in my YouTube shorts section. You guys can feel free to check that out. But pretty much, if you use that method and you abuse it, you can actually do it very well. So if you see if there is a small fruit, you can just delete it and then try to log back in a few minutes later. And then you should be able to get a massive fruit. I also have a guide on how to actually have it at infinite, so you don't need to log out of the game at all. It will be running for 24 hours straight as long as you are in the game. So you can actually try and use that sprinkler method rather than the one you actually log out. That one will be in the game forever, but the one that I'm talking about right now might get fixed. So make sure you guys do capitalize on that as soon as possible. This rainbow sunflower that you see on your screen was a product of the sprinkler method, guys. I got this very easily on the first try because of using this simple glitch that allowed me to get possibly the best and highest value fruit in the game currently. Now, having a massive fruit is going to be very useful because the base price is going to be extremely high. But having these mutations stacked, it's going to greatly increase the value. Now, the Celestial will give you 120 times more. Shock will give you 50 times more. The other ones will give you a slight boost. They are not as massive as those two as I just mentioned. However, we also do have special mutations in the game. Those happen really regularly before an update actually drops. So tomorrow or later, depends on when you see this. Jandel will be launching an update, which means massive mutations will be available, guys. Try and capitalize on those as much as possible here. Now, I could go ahead and collect all my fruits right now, but that's a very bad idea. I'm gonna go ahead and save them up until the update actually drops, so that I have these special mutations actually stacked up, like the Heavenly, the Disco, and so on. Those will definitely make a massive difference on actually making my fruits and other plants worth way more than usual. And if you guys are interested in winning a dragonfly, make sure you guys are subscribed, comment down below your username, watch the entire video, and make sure to like and share the video. And at number 6, we have a very useful tip right here that most people actually just disregard. When you're gonna go ahead and sell your plants, have friends on the server. You can have 4 friends on the server and each one is actually worth 10% more. So if I was selling something like 100 billion, just by having 4 friends in the server, it's so easy to just add people in the server. If you're in a public server, if you guys have friends, then you can make them join first before you actually sell. When you sell for 100 billion, you're getting 40 extra billion for no absolute reason, guys. It's so easy. And like I said, look at that. We got another moon melon turning into gold. And at number 7, as I mentioned earlier in the video, this is the most important tip that I can give you guys right now. And that is actually having alt accounts. Now, alt accounts actually give you so much leeway on trying to spend your resources here. Now, when you go into the gear shop, the pet eggs, you can only see one of each stock here. So you can only get one of each. So 1 master sprinkler, 1 lightning rod, 1 bug egg, 1 mythic egg. But if you're like me and you're running 7 accounts, every time this actually refreshes, I can get 7 bug eggs, 7 mythic eggs, 7 master sprinklers. That is such a massive difference compared to the regular person. So when you go ahead and check it out, I have 8 here, right? But what people don't know is that I have 8 to 10 on other accounts. So like I said, this account is one of them. I have 6 alt accounts. I essentially have close to 100 master sprinklers already. It's very much crazy. And that's also a very good strategy. That's how I got the queen bee and the dragonfly very easily, guys. These came from my alt accounts. They are going to be super overpowered, guys. And as an example here, I'm just going to go ahead and open 1 mythic egg actually so that you guys can see. And I'm going to plant down another bee egg because I have 1 on this account again. And look at that, I got a squirrel here. But if I open another bee egg or another mythic egg on a different account, I could get a red fox, another queen bee. So you can definitely see the difference of having alt accounts and none. Now keep in mind, you can't actually give seeds to your accounts. Let's say you grew a massive ember lily, you can actually just collect it, get the mutations, then collect it, then give it to your main account. And you're essentially doubling the amount of money you can actually make. And then the sprinklers you are allowed to place in other people's gardens, so it's not a massive problem. You can just use your alt account and use the master sprinkler, just place it down on your garden, and you should be good to go. Next up is a warning and a tip at the same time. That is, do not trade or trade with caution. This is because Grow Garden has a massive amount of scammers, guys. They're just gonna run around and say, let's trade, go first, not going first. That is a massive problem already. If you see someone saying not going first, it's 100% a scam already. Do not trade with those types of people, guys. I'd recommend going second all the time so that you don't have a chance of getting scammed. And again, you can get lucky and trade with someone who is legitimate. You can get a raccoon. But at the same time, you could give them a raccoon and you get absolutely nothing. And you're just gonna feel a lot of pain, and this is probably going to make you quit and waste hours of progress. So don't do that, guys. Either wait for the trading update or have a middleman that is trustworthy, or only trade with friends or people that you actually know in real life. Now, next tip is actually the pet combos. One thing that you'll notice here is I have a dragonfly, and then I have 4 tarantula hawks and then 1 queen bee. Now, I'm using the tarantula hawks right now because they actually give you a very nice passive. Not only do they pollinate the garden, which is very important for this event, they actually every 5 minutes, they can just sting a pet, a random pet by the way, and then reduce the ability cooldown by 85 seconds. So if all 4 of these actually sting the dragonfly pretty much gets another chance of just turning something golden. And the queen bee does the same thing, except this one is every 30 minutes and an insta reset. So if the queen bee actually uses it on the dragonfly just gets the golden ability back straight up, which is going to be very powerful, guys. That's how I'm trying to get all of my moon melons golden before the update tomorrow. It's only been a day, guys, and literally nearly all of them are already golden. I need the sunflower to turn golden, and this strategy is going to be super overpowered. And keep in mind, you have to actually be online so that these pets will actually work with their passives. If you're offline, they're basically doing nothing aside from growing. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind, guys. Don't forget, you have to be online on the server for these pets to actually be useful. And then at the next tip, at number 10, you can see right now if I walk up to it, they have hearts, right? Look at this. All of the sunflowers have hearts. Favoriting them, look at this, guys. You spend 20 million, right? You just use it. I'm gonna actually go ahead and buy this right now. And when they're actually favorited, you cannot collect them unless you use the same tool, which is this. You have to unfavorite it first before you can actually collect it. So when it's favorited, you cannot collect it, which simply means you cannot mess up and say, oh my goodness, I made a mistake, I accidentally collected it. And a final tip, guys, it's to actually do the events. Now, currently, the Busy Bear event gives you the best plant in the entire game. It's definitely almost as good as the Candy Blossom. Well, if you were to take a look at the circumstances right now, it's actually the best because Candy Blossom is not obtainable anymore. But this one, however, the Lumera is still obtainable and you can get an infinite amount of them as long as you are very active and doing the Busy Bear quest as much as possible. And over here to the Queen Bee, when you trade with her, you can actually go ahead and buy the flower seed packs, which cost 10 honey each. Usually there's 1 to 2 stocks, so it's gonna be very, very good to just stock up on them. The Sunflower right now is super, super good. One of the best plants in the entire game. Lilac for Legendary is one of the best in the game right now. It's definitely bugged out. I don't know why Jandel has decided to do that. It's much better than these two combined. So Lilac is going to be a very, very good one. When you scroll down here, the Hive Fruit Seed is also super good. So you can actually go ahead and take a look here. Literally 5 of the seeds that you get from this event is already the top 5 in the entire game currently. So you can definitely see the importance of doing the events so that you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you guys do follow these. Don't mess up, guys. Make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next videos.